Hello. All right, so this is the first video, and I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Um, I don't normally even smoke cigarettes anymore, but find myself feeling kind of nervous actually to open myself up to the scrutiny of the internet, which is harsh to say the least. And um, the topics that I want to discuss are not popular. A lot of people have some strong opinions about them that, in my mind, are very stupid, and not only that, but very damaging to human lives. First and foremost, I guess I would like to say, uh, aside from any other goal that I would have in starting this channel, I want anyone who is going through the situation to feel like they have somewhere to go where just someone would understand them, and feel like there might be some hope, some light at the end of the tunnel. For me, doing this is really an exercise of fear against courage. This is not an easy thing to do. I'm not starting this feeling like, oh yes, I'm going to be an internet star, or people are going to accept this well. My expectation is probably for this to be not watched, and if watched, criticized. But the fact is that people are dying all over the world, miserable, with their lives ruined, and there isn't a whole lot of help for people like us out there. And I say us because, you know, I am an addict for sure. Heroin specifically has stolen years of my life away from me. And it's a hard and lonely road. Aside from the fact that people die from this condition, it takes everything away from them before that happens. And I can personally say that it is very disheartening to feel so misunderstood, and even hated, stigmatized, because you're going through this experience. I'm here to tell you, and by you I mean anybody who can relate to what I'm saying, that you're not alone. 10% of the population is with you, my friend, regardless of race, gender, age, socioeconomic status. We're all out there, and we're feeling it too. And I'm an American, so I live in a country that profits off of the misery of addicts, God damn it, non-violent drug offenders who make up 70% of the prison population, which is increasing yearly. I don't have exact figures, but the private prison sector is growing exponentially, and it's a lot of things. It's disheartening. It's scary, to think that people would take advantage of a system that isn't working for personal profit and take your freedom away from you, because you have a problem that they don't understand. I know some people before me have used this analogy of, if you have diabetes, people don't berate you for having to take insulin or having to manage your disease. But people in this situation often find themselves what is the fucking word? Expected to overcome something by a force of will that doesn't respond to a force of will. A lot of this feels like rambling, and I didn't write anything or plan anything out when I pressed record just now. I just felt like that I needed to say something. Encouraging all of my fellow addicts to maintain hope. I'll definitely be exploring social injustice, governmental failure, unfair stigma worldwide, what I consider to be torture of people who are in the grips of a disease that is merciless. And I know that there are organizations out there that exist, like AA and NA, and if that works for you, then that's great. I really do encourage you to keep with it, and if you're happy and you identify with those principles, then by all means, keep doing what you're doing. Succeed in kicking addiction's ass if it's happening for you. But the stark reality is that AA has a 6% success rate. So what that tells me is there are a lot of us who... What that tells me is there are a lot of us for whom that system doesn't work or doesn't apply. And there aren't any real alternatives. There aren't any real I guess there aren't any real efforts to understand addiction scientifically and perhaps come up with a better solution. Something that works better than your average placebo medication. And I know that the world that we live in can feel pretty stark. But I also know that nothing is going to change if everyone just accepts it. We're going to keep dying. We're going to keep relapsing. We're going to keep failing. We're going to feel miserable. We're going to lose family and friends. And if I can do anything to make the situation better, then I should. Because I just, on a personal level, I feel like I want to have tried to help anyone. And if there's anything that I know about, it's about living as an addict, living in fear, living with shame for what you do on a regular basis, who you are. And just because you're an addict doesn't mean that you don't have something beautiful inside of you, that you aren't a person, that you aren't someone of worth. You just unfortunately don't live in a time where we fully understand neurochemically what's going on. But we have to fight for our rights as human beings, like many people have before us. You know, women, the LGBT community, minorities of several races, any race in America, aside from being white, have had to fight to be considered equal, and at some point, it's going to be our turn. And I would like to do anything that I can to progress that movement, even if it's not just a movement right now. It's just a feeling in people's minds. It's been a feeling in my mind for a long time, and I just can't just leave it inside of myself anymore. So I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to subject myself to public scrutiny, subject myself to, the possibility of no one giving a fuck, no one watching, and just falling into obscurity. But that's okay. You know what? If I get 20 views and 2 of those people are addicts, and this gives them any kind of hope that people are out there that understand, that care, and that want things to change, and that keeps them keeping on for a little bit longer, then it'll be worth it. So, I guess I'm going to sign off now. Like I said, I didn't really think this out. I don't know how to do any sort of video editing or anything. I don't know if that really matters. I might try to trim this a little bit, school myself on cutting out the parts that don't matter, just so that I can succinctly express this message. So, with that, hopefully this gets out to you, out to the internet, and I don't just leave it on my computer like a coward. And once it gets to the internet, I hope that it reaches you, anybody who is having a rough time being an addict, and hopefully I will be able to hold to my word of making more videos, and in addition to inspiring you to push forward, to fight, I hope that I can expose some of the egregious wrongdoings of people in general and people in power that affect addicts in a major way. And so that's it. I think I'll probably put this on a channel that I think is just associated with my name. So this is Steven signing off. And I don't know, fuck it, that's it.